Welcome to week one of On Top the Cage. My Sunday mistress is back. That is not Dan, who's always to my left. That would be the National Football League season. The 2022-23 season is upon us. Traditional shoot night Wednesday. First game tomorrow.
Yeah. I don't know. Now, that monkeypox comment caught me off guard there.
What?
The mistress thing?
Yes, my Sunday mistress is back. My wife doesn't necessarily love the National Football League. That means I'm out here, by like noon and probably don't present myself back inside the house until roughly 10 p.m. or so. In any event, she's back. I'm looking forward to it. So clean up from last week, though. You talked about tropical storms, hurricanes.
Yeah.
We're on Fiona.
What about Fiona?
Well, we went through A, B, C, D, and E already.
We did?
We did. We're on Fiona.
What? Did I miss all those other storms?
They've obviously petered out. They started as tropical storms or whatever, never made it to hurricane status, never made it to the East Coast, Florida, Cuba, wherever else, type of thing. So, but we are on Fiona. Yeah, and I got a little bit of flack from some of the people at work and a few other people like, why is the show not up last week? We had some HD processing issues. It went up like around 11:30 in the morning. Usually it goes up around 9:30 in the morning. So preseason for myself as well. We will fix that. So, anyway, what's that? Yes, there's no weed. No. Dan, Dan does nothing in regards to
technical stuff here.
Dan shows up, drinks beer, enjoys himself. We feed him afterwards. It's a pretty good gig for him, for sure.
Yeah.
So, anyway, how was your Labor Day weekend?
It was good. Got to eat a lot of good food, hang out, drink beer. Watch some football. There were some killer freaking games on.
I thought college was okay. The best game was.
It was just that it was football and there were real teams.
Back,
playing.
yes,
and
that's
it wasn't
fantastic.
Replay stuff.
It was rainy though. I mean, it was really rainy.
The weekend here, yeah.
You found a way to grill though, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Dan sent me a picture of like some monstrous piece of meat that had like a handle on it. What was that?
Tomahawk steak.
Tomahawk steak?
Ribeye.
It looked like it was like 4 inches thick. How thick was it?
I don't know if it was 4. The picture, it looked big on the picture, but it was probably close to 3 pounds, maybe, 3 inches.
He sends me this picture, and I'm like, who the hell are y'all feeding? And then the follow-up picture is like 4 other like Delmonicos or something.
Those are strip steaks.
Strip steaks, yes.
Certain people in my household don't like the bone and don't like all the fat on that big ribeye, so I got to please them. But hey, Sam's Club is only like $50 for all the steaks.
They got
a
good meat there?
steakhouse anymore. I mean, you're going to spend that on one.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, the price of food it doesn't matter where you're at. Like,
it's insane. My wife doesn't go shopping that often, and we were in Sam's Club, and she goes, "I can't believe the price of this frozen crap." And I'm like, everything's like that.
That's awesome. A large chunk of my weekend, or my Labor Day weekend, was taken up with the football game. I went down to Columbus.
Did you tailgate?
Oh, 100%. We had like this bougie tailgate spot. Like it was like right next to the stadium. It was super awesome.
Right where you sent me that picture from?
I literally could have thrown a football and hit the stadium from where we were at.
No kidding.
Yeah, my sister and brother-in-law, they have some sort of connection. Like literally, and like 2 down in regards to the tailgate spaces was the parents of the Notre Dame players. So,
that's what I was like. She must know a priest or something from Notre Dame. That's how they got that.
Somebody
spot.
from Alter, I think it is, obviously, which is a big high school, Catholic high school down in the Dayton area. But no, we had a great time. I totally enjoy all the revelry. I mean, the tailgating.
Did you have rain down there for that?
A little bit. I mean, we were
because at game day it was crappy. Thunder and lightning in the morning.
It was. My son Connor is a student down there. He was at game day. My son Keaton went with my son Connor's girlfriend down early. They left at 7 in the morning. They made it for game day. They were there. They were partying. I got there. They were a little bit like, we're tired already type of thing.
It's a
long day for sure.
The game's not till 7:30.
It was a lot of fun in regards to all the tailgating, the smells. By the way, the stump game is not, just for our family. I saw people playing the stump game at a tailgate.
I'm still waiting for you to set it up out here.
I tell you what.
You need a stump?
I'm like, Keaton, don't talk shit to those people. Like, they got hammers, So, but anyway, there was a lot of that going on. I saw some, like, older fella get in Keaton's face and say, Rudy was offsides. Like, so there was a lot of banter back and forth and things like that. It was star-studded. I mean, there were so many different people there. I mean, LeBron James and his son Bronny were there. all the former players,
You were
Ezekiel
there.
Elliott, Joe Burrow I was there, Jason Tatum randomly there, obviously NBA player. So it was fun, and I love all that stuff. And we had really good tickets, but I'll take this place over going to a game anytime. And we sat at like the 40-yard line, and we were 30-some rows up or whatever. They were great seats. But the viewing experience, I much prefer being at home because, first of all, my seat's way better. It's right behind the camera. It's wider. I got this shitty small area. I mean, I was on an aisle, which was good. Keaton had inside, and he had some kind of weird dude next to him who wanted to talk his ear off the whole time. The drinks suck. They're expensive, type of thing.
Sure.
So I mean, you see different things like
What's
during
105,000 times one beer?
what? 105,000 times one is 105,000.
No, one beer. What was one beer?
Oh, what it cost? I literally. Well, we drove back, but they were like $9 or something like that. I think. I don't know. I mean, they
I'd have
obviously
to get my calculator.
gouge you. I was driving back, so being responsible and things like that. We tailgated. We had a great time. I had my share of that. But when I went in, we drank waters primarily. It's kind of a boring game, though.
Second half, yeah, I was a little bored myself.
It was,
the defenses I thought played good both ways.
They 100% did. I think that's probably was part of Notre Dame's game plan was to limit the possessions for Ohio State and their thought of juggernaut offense.
Yeah,
they didn't look that great.
They
didn't look that great.
Yeah, no,
So,
they actually got bumped down in what, the AP poll or the coaches poll.
It was
But I think Georgia should have went all the way up to number 1.
Oh, that was an impressive performance by the Georgia Bulldogs. It certainly was. I want to say it was 49-3 or something like that. So let's do the beer review, but I got a little bit of a story because I drove back and then I'll tell you what happened there. This beer is called Attention Please. I choose it for titles. The can presentation is not that great. It certainly is not. But attention please, because we're going to provide some winners. It comes from the Bearded Iris Brewing Company.
Nashville, Tennessee.
Is Bearded Iris a plant?
I believe it is.
Are they like talking dirty to us?
I
They're talking dirty and making fun of
Iris is a plant.
Female reproductive parts? No relation to the
I don't
bearded
know about
clam?
that. Look, yeah, that looks. I don't know. Maybe that's a plant thing on there.
I'm pouring it. What's the percentage, Dan?
8.3.
Woo!
No, sorry, 8.2. I think last week's was 8.3 because that's what we were talking about.
It's a double IPA again. Sorry, back-to-back similar beers, which means citrus flavor, I believe. Dan said, I'm getting a Bud Light if I don't like it. Never heard of this brewing company before. What do we think?
That's fine. Doesn't taste like it came out of someone's boot.
Oh, it's nice. I like it. I like it.
It's not that strong.
Well, until we get later. Although, I told you last week, no shots on the table this week. That will happen when Dan and I both have positive weeks. Hopefully, you'll see shots on the table when we start the
both
show
have
next week.
positive?
Although, yes, we both have to have positive weeks to do that. So,
You don't think last week was positive for both of us?
before we get to the college football game, we did one that we're going to pick at the end of the NFL slate. Dan did go 2-0 last week. I went 1-1. We'll put it out there already. I'm sure I'll mention it again. So I talked to you about how I came back the same night from the Buckeye game. We got back around 1:30 in the morning, right? So I did whatever I did with the cooler, fix the cooler. I'm a big straightener person, things like that. So smoke a cigarette, whatever. I walk inside at 2 o'clock in the morning, right? And the house is perfect, except Halloween fucking exploded in my house.
Oh my God, already?
Dude, already, yes. And way more than the average bear Halloween.
Dude, you got an 8-foot freaking werewolf dude in there.
Yes, that's the whole thing. That was not there when I left town to go to Columbus, like around 11 in the morning. It was not there. It was not. I get back, I see this. It's just to the left of the fireplace in the main room where one of the Christmas trees generally go. But it's significant. It's called Mr. Dark. In any event, it's this thing. It's got.
It's gonna light up because of motion.
No, it's thank God because I'm about to tell a little bit of a story. But anyway, it's got the hands. They stick out like this. It's got this like stone skull face that needs a dental plan, obviously. But meanwhile,
Wait, is that new?
It's brand new.
Oh,
Brand
I
new.
was gonna say,
It was
I've
not
seen that.
there.
I
Like,
remember
what-
the werewolf dude.
Oh, he's different. He's still inside too. Like I told you, way more than the average bear. It's unbelievable. You have to walk in after
Oh,
the
I
show
gotta
and
go
see
check
this
it
thing.
out.
But anyway, you activate the thing, and what it does, it lunges at you and goes like, I swear to God, 10 feet in the air.
What the hell?
It's enormous. It scares the shit out of Oakley. Like scares the shit out of Oakley. Like Oakley's like, I've been rehomed once, but fuck it, I'll be rehomed again if this thing's sticking around. Like Oakley's our biggest dog. He's what 60 pounds or so. He loves Dan. Like he's scared of a lot of people. Loves Dan. Loved Dan from the gate. He
I'm a
piddles
lovable guy.
when Dan gets here. Like but he's like Oakley's like that keyboard gangster, you know, like who like talks all kinds of shit like behind the computer screen, but then he meets you and he's like a big pussy.
Yeah.
That's Oakley. That's Oakley. Like he's like terrified of this.
Yeah,
thing,
like he'll
so.
bark at somebody walking down the street, but if they walked up the driveway, he'd be like, "Woo!"
No, he's out. Tail between
Yeah.
the legs. Yeah.
I'm in the backyard.
So he's fantastic. He's not getting rehomed again. He's ours. We're keeping him. So, but anyway, that's my little story about when I came home from the football game, and it's pretty wild inside. And Dan will walk in there. So, we got anything else before we get into the games?
Youth football update.
That's right. Let's hear it, Dan.
0-2, baby.
Oh, what happened?
Well, we were missing 3 dudes, quarterback, some other people. We adjusted, had a new tailback plan because our starting tailback went to quarterback. He got hurt. The backup got hurt. You know, so it was just a comedy of errors. I mean, so they played good. We couldn't stop the big play. I mean, we had all our little people playing, and I don't know how a 60-pound kid is going to tackle a 100-pound running back running downhill at him.
You got to turn this around, man. It's
Hey.
a short season, right? Like 6, 8
6
games?
regular season games. So we're this weekend will be the halfway point. So hopefully we get a victory.
All right, very good.
Playoffs, and we'll see what happens.
You guys always know we do our little introduction and bullshit kind of ahead of time, so I think we're on to football already. And
Let's go.
yeah, the show will be a little bit shorter. I think we ran an hour and 9 minutes last week.
Yeah,
The
too
logo
long.
turned off. I don't think it will. So Thursday night football. The defending champs, who are the LA Rams, the defending champs always host the first Thursday night football game. That is the Los Angeles Rams. They will host the Buffalo Bills. The Bills actually are favorites in this game, 2.5-point favorites. The over/under is a whopping 51.5, expecting a lot of points. But this is always like a thing, you know. It's a thing. There's a dude named Jay Balvin playing ahead of the game, like for the pregame stuff and things like that. I don't know who that is. I never heard of that dude. I played his music
Oh, he's
earlier.
playing music?
Yeah.
I
music.
thought you meant he was playing in the game, and then
No,
you said
no.
before the game. I was like, what the hell is he
No.
playing?
He's the musical entertainment before the game. He kind of like sounds like Post Malone to me, which I like Post. But how about this? I bet you don't know this. You know who the halftime entertainment is?
No.
The Prince of Darkness himself.
Ozzy Osbourne?
Ozzy Osbourne is going to do
What?
a medley at halftime. Yes. Ozzy, probably like 75, 80 years old. I don't know how old Ozzy is. He's going to do a medley of songs. I hope they show part of it. I really do. I freaking love Ozzy Osbourne. What was that show called? Probably just called The Osbournes, I think.
I think
Did you
it
ever
was.
watch any of that?
No, I don't watch that stupid reality bullshit.
Long time ago. But
Freaking fake.
Ozzy made headlines. He's like, the country's getting a little wild over
Only
here. I think
reality
we can-
show I watched was Cops.
Dude, I never watched. I mean, I did
That's
a little
reality.
bit back
Or
in the day.
what was the other one? Shoot, that guy. There was a version of Cops, Live PD.
No.
That was good shit. Bring it back.
Do you have a scanner at home?
On my phone.
Do you ever like listen to it?
Every
What is
once
it,
in a while.
Akron PD or whatever? What is it?
It's called 50 Radio, and you have to search, but you can get local stuff. Like I have Green on there. Like if I
You ever
hear
do it?
sirens
Well,
and
that's
shit,
Summit
yeah.
County Sheriff. So,
Oh, it's got Green Fire too.
oh, nice.
Yeah. So yeah,
didn't
every
have to
once
do
in a
that.
while it's fun to flip it on. I haven't done it in a while, but yeah,
That's a little weird, I think. I don't know.
Why is it weird?
I don't know. I don't know. I
Watching
don't
the
do that.
Kardashians is fucking weird.
I don't do that either. Nobody does that. I don't know. Maybe they do. They have ratings, I guess. I don't know.
Crap Dashians.
Speaking of ratings, jeez. Anyway, the football game was the most watched collegiate football game since 2017. The Ohio State Notre Dame football game. I
Well,
don't know.
hell yeah. They have 2 huge alumni bases. Plus, it was Saturday night kicking off the season.
It was. It was boring. I mean, I hate to say that.
I kind of agree with you. I mean, when I knew it was over, because I had the TV set up outside on the deck, so we were outside watching it, and I was like, "No, this shit's over. I'm cleaning this up and taking it in the garage." It was.
I was trying to make my way out of town.
How about the size of those 2 frickin' tackles that Ohio State has on offense?
See, that's stuff you don't see. I prefer the experience at home.
You don't see it.
actually
You were
for the
freaking
game.
there. You couldn't see that they're monuments?
Well, they are, but no. I mean, it's difficult to see. I mean, Keaton's like, oh my God, I can't believe that kid didn't pick up that ball. There was a ball thrown past the flat for sure. But the linebacker undercut it for Notre Dame. He didn't jump on Keaton. It was probably like 4 to 5 yards over his head. I mean, it probably wasn't that close. It was probably a good pass type of thing. He's like, because he was like belaboring the fact that the Notre Dame linebacker didn't jump and pick off the ball. I'm like, literally, it was probably like 8 feet over his fucking head.
The dude with the hair, the linebacker, is that the Hawaiian kid that we liked?
No,
Didn't he
it's a
play
different
last
dude.
Year?
No, it's a different dude.
It's a different dude.
It is. I didn't know the numbers. I mean, it was the first week. I'm like, who caught that ball? I mean, Notre Dame got the biggest play of the game on the first play from scrimmage.
That was freaking sweet.
It went
I
to
was like,
Lorenzo
holy
Styles.
hell.
Yeah, he made a couple moves, and there was a missed tackle, if you will. Went down to like the 30-yard line, whatever. Notre Dame got the initial points of the game. Blah blah. But the viewing experience is so much better at home. I don't care how good your tickets are. I really don't. So, but anyway, I don't know why we're talking about that again.
Yeah,
we are on the Thursday night football game, and hey guys, you don't have to stream yet. That is, I think, next week, if I'm not mistaken. We'll update you on that. But NBC always has the opening football game for the National Football League, and that means Tirico and Collinsworth. Once again,
Collinsworth Love Fest. Yay.
I like Collinsworth. Anyway, we're not going to get into that. Buffalo minus 2.5 at the defending champs, the Los Angeles Rams in SoFi Stadium. I'm sure Mark would give us the dime tour.
Yeah.
Mark the mechanic if he's here, but he's not. So, listen, Buffalo. Obviously, these two teams are very good and proven teams. The one big thing I think for Buffalo this year, Von Miller switched actual teams. These two teams. He got a Super Bowl ring with the Rams last year, and now he's on Buffalo. We'll see if he makes, a showing here or how that goes for him. But who do you like in this game? And the Rams. The defending champions.
First of all, the Rams should be without Aaron Donald because he's helmet swinger.
Not happening.
And that's the biggest
It's
bunch
not
of horse shit I've ever seen in my
happening.
life. He should be out 6 games. Come on. The NFL can suspend people for what they do away from team facilities, away from practice, but they can't suspend somebody at a joint practice. Absolutely makes no sense. It's the stupidest freaking thing. It's an embarrassment to the league. He shouldn't be playing. He should be out 6 games like Myles Garrett. He should be out double because he had 2 helmets he was swinging.
It's part of the contract between
Bullshit.
the Players Association and NFL. That we went over this last week.
I know we went over it, but it still pisses me off that he's playing. Protect the shield, or what's that personal conduct policy? How does this not fall under that?
I don't know. I understand Dan's common sense reasoning. It's not going to happen. It's just not part of the contract between the Players Association and the National
Why did it
Football
happen
League.
with Myles Garrett? He's not a star in the NFL.
It was during a National Football League game. You know
what?
that. You know that.
What's the difference?
I understand the argument. We're not talking about that anymore.
If you did it on the street, you'd be in jail. Probably not in California. You'd probably be released the same day you got arrested, so you could hit somebody else with a helmet again.
I don't know. Rams.
What do you mean you don't know? Bullshit. You know it's true.
Rams are a good football team. Obviously, the defending champs. There was a lot of talk about Stafford's elbow in the offseason. McVay says he's fine. Stafford says he's fine.
Well, he didn't hurt his elbow helping that lady that fell off the
Oh
stage.
my God, stop it already.
I'm
Buffalo
going with
minus
the
2.
Bills.
Me too. Dan and I are in agreement on the first game. Buffalo minus 2.5. We both picked them as our Super Bowl champs. I know I did. Did you?
I can't remember. We'll have to watch the show.
I think he did. I'm going to stick with him. I think they're the better football team. We'll see. But Dan and I both go with Buffalo minus 2.5 in the first game of the National Football League season. The 1 o'clock slate starts with a division game. New Orleans Saints traveling to Atlanta. I guess that would be northeast a little bit, maybe an hour and a half, couple hours. Teddy will correct me, but New Orleans is a 5.5-point favorite in Atlanta. New Orleans, they have a coaching change. Dennis Allen, Sean Payton left. I wish they would have went with just freshness, and Dennis Allen was on the staff. I feel like Dennis Allen coached maybe for real or on an interim basis with the Raiders at one point in time. But I wish they would have went with
They got screwed.
a whole new flavor.
They were late to the show trying to find a new coach because Peyton resigned.
He did.
Because of the tampering. There were nobody else. The guy got fined at Miami, but there were no ramifications anywhere else.
Right.
It's bullshit.
New Orleans, I like them this year. I mean, they have a really good defensive team. Jameis Winston's coming off injury, obviously, and is Jameis going to do?
Thomas playing?
I don't know if he's playing or not. I think he is. And then they added Chris Olave, the Ohio State receiver, to bolster that kind of offensive thing. Alvin Kamara will not be disciplined in regards to suspension, in regards to that fight that happened in Vegas, the Pro Bowl. So he's on the field. They have their weapons. I love their defense. Atlanta, they have a kind of a new cast of characters. Marcus Mariota is the quarterback there. They're going to have a new running back. I think his name's Tyler Algier. BYU product. What do you think here? New Orleans minus 5.5.
I think it's an ugly game.
I'm a fan of the New Orleans Saints this year. I think they're winning that division, and Dan disagrees. Tampa's in that division, obviously, Tampa Bay. They're going to start here. I like the Saints minus 5.5 in this game.
I'm taking Atlanta at home.
Taking the points? Yeah. Over-under is 42.5. It's not a big number. Obviously, they would have to win the game decidedly. You're on Atlanta?
I'm on Atlanta.
All right, next game up is Dan's Cleveland Football Browns traveling to Carolina. Carolina installed as a 2-point favorite in this game. This line's been fluctuating throughout the week. Over-under is 40.5. It's the touted or coined as the Baker Mayfield revenge game. We'll see. Cleveland has a very talented roster.
They suck on opening day.
They do.
They've only won one and tied one, and they've lost the rest on opening day.
The last time the Cleveland Browns have won an opener, I put it on the board.
I don't even remember who it was.
2004.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick was the coach of the Cleveland Browns. To give you an idea. The Browns, very talented roster. There's a question of quarterback until week 12 at a minimum. So we didn't see a lot of Brissett, their starting quarterback, in the preseason. What we did see of him was not exactly eye-opening, but there's no doubting the talent on that roster, the defense, the running game, and what they bring. Carolina, I told you I think Carolina is a sneaky wildcard team this year with Baker Mayfield. We'll see. I'm going to take the lead on this. I like Carolina to win this game. I like them to cover the 2-point number. It's small enough.
I'm a jackass and taking the Browns.
Healthy Christian McCaffrey. We'll see what they have. Renewed energy down there. I don't know. You're going to take the Browns?
Yeah.
All right. First game,
Denzel Ward, pick 6, baby.
All right. Dan and I have disagreed 2 out of the first 3 games. We'll see if we're doing shots next week. Next game on the board.
Somebody might be.
The San Francisco 49ers travel to Soldier Field to play the undefeated first place football team hailing from the city of Chicago, the Football Bears.
Were you undefeated in the preseason?
They are. They were.
Oh,
they were.
Kiss of death.
They were. It is a kiss of death. By the way,
been there, done that.
Dan Orlovsky's a talking head. I kind of like it. You don't like him either. Dan doesn't like anybody. He's a talking head on ESPN. I kind of like him. Their team went 4-0 in the preseason when they used to play 4 preseason games, and then they probably went 0-16 when they only played 60 games. Now we play 17, but anyway, the 49ers are minus 7.
He's such an expert.
He's got some cred. He played. You don't have to be a great player to have cred and understand football. I don't think. Anyway, the 49ers are minus 7. We always talk about the home team first. Trey Lance is the new quarterback there, and we thought Jimmy Garoppolo was going to be gone. He's not. He's back on this.
Wait, you said we always talk about the home team first.
Did I say home? I meant away team. Did I say home?
You said
I'm
home.
sorry.
Because I was like, what?
It's early for me too. Maybe we did take a
Double IPA.
double IPA. San Francisco. I love Kyle Shanahan. I've gushed about him in the past. There's no quarterback that hasn't succeeded under Kyle Shanahan. We'll see if Trey Lance is the next. I don't know. I mean, obviously they have a very good defense led by Fred Warner and the Bosa kid. Chicago. I mean, I'm done with the narrative that the Chicago Bears are a shitty fucking football team. Like, everybody says like they're the worst football team, or maybe they're the second worst or third worst football team. It's not true, I promise you. They have a new coaching staff. Matt Eberflus is the new coach. They are a disciplined football team. They committed very few penalties. There's a ton of effort, and we'll see what Justin Fields does. People are questioning the offensive line for the Bears. They're questioning the playmakers that Fields has. The defense is stout. San Francisco's -7 in this game. Daniel, who do you like?
I'm taking San Francisco. I don't know how you could say the defense is stout or anything stout on this team. When after cutdown day, they took everybody's cast away and changed their 53-man roster.
They're changing their timeline is what they're doing. What they're doing is changing the timeline to fit Justin Fields. I like what Chicago's doing.
Are they going to bench him and let him sit there and watch while
Who?
their timeline gets adjusted?
Who?
Justin Fields.
No. He's a playmaker.
Yeah.
He's a player. I promise
I know
you
he's a player.
I think he's going to be the best quarterback in this class. I mean, maybe that's me with a little bit of rose-colored glasses, if you will. Not only do I like the Bears in this game, I think they may win this football game. I love the Bears in this game. I love the points. I'll take the 7 every day. I personally played it already because I think the line's going to drop to 6.5 or 6. I love the Bears in this game.
Look at that, taking both of our favorite teams.
Well,
You picked Carolina.
we'll see.
I picked San Francisco.
And we'll have a lot to say about this come next week on the show. Hopefully we're both doing shots. It doesn't look that like it's going to happen that way, considering we picked 3 out of the first 4 games differently, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Division game, AFC North game. Pittsburgh travels to Cincinnati, Queen City. We always talk, let's do the line. Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, -6.5 in this game, over under 44.5. Pittsburgh, we talk about the new team, or the away team first. New quarterbacks. Mitch Trubisky starting. What do you think of Mitch?
I mean, I thought he played well or not Cincinnati, but when you guys had him at the Bears, I mean, I don't think he's that bad. I don't know.
He sat behind Josh Allen last year or so, or I think it was just one.
Yeah, he wasn't going to start there. He didn't have a chance of playing.
No,
but
but
as a backup, I mean, he was great. Now he's.
And I think Brian Daboll's a good offensive coordinator, a good offensive mind.
Yeah.
Josh Allen obviously is a great player. I think he gained some of that. He looked great in preseason. So did their draft pick, Kenny Pickett. All their quarterbacks looked really good in preseason.
Well, I mean, that's the perfect team to go to because their defense plays so well, too. You get better field position. You're not playing from behind too often, or if you're
Najee
behind,
Harris.
it's not. I don't know about
The
him.
offensive line is very questionable for that team.
They're questionable. That's probably their biggest weakness. It was weak last year, so, I mean, that's,
The Bengals
he's got some weapons to throw to, so,
They added James Daniels. They changed the offensive line a little bit, but I don't know if it's enough. I mean, it didn't look that great in preseason, the offensive line. Cincinnati did change their offensive line a lot, and they knew that was their weakness. They made it to the bowl last year, and they had a very questionable offensive line. It was all about keeping Burrow upright. They had Lyle Collins, right?
Yeah.
Probably the premier free agent on the market in the offseason. They've kind of fixed that. They've kind of revamped that. They had the third easiest schedule last year in the National Football League.
That's
played
the
out.
thing. Now it's going to be the toughest.
You never know. It's the 7th hardest is most difficult is a better way to say it. Schedule. Cincinnati's -6.5 in this game, 44.5. You want to take the lead or you want me?
I think I'm going to go with Pittsburgh. I think that's a big number there.
Me too. I like Mike Tomlin. I like his team.
Yeah.
I like his resolve. That guy hasn't had a losing season. I think this is too big a number, especially for opening day, when kind of you're feeling out your parts, your new parts and things like that. I like Pittsburgh a lot in this game. Not to win the game, but to stay under that number. Dan and I are in agreement. Next game on the board, the Philadelphia Eagles are -4 traveling to Detroit.
That was good because I drank it pretty quick.
Somewhat of a tradition. I don't know why you do that, though, because you always end up being the one that picks it up later.
I'll pick it up now when I go get another one.
Fair enough. Philadelphia, -4 traveling to Motor City, Detroit. Over-under is 48.5. That's a pretty big number. That's points. Philadelphia. They were my pick to make it to the Super Bowl this year.
Dude, I can't wait. I want to see Philadelphia's new toys. I want to see them in action. I'm taking Philadelphia in this game.
Well, Jalen Hurts is not a new
-4.
toy, but I expect Jalen Hurts
But
to...
all the other stuff around him.
A.J. Brown, they added on the offensive side. They have this kind of running back situation by committee. They have a pretty good defense. Their head coach.
Devontae Smith.
Yes.
I mean,
take a step forward in year 2.
Yeah.
And everybody seems to like Detroit. And I think it's because people like Dan Campbell. But how long are we going to talk about the Fighting Dan Campbell's being like, hey, they take on the mentality?
Yeah, I mean, what?
I mean, there's a talent gap here.
I don't know what happened. He told them to go practice on their own. No one's going to do shit. They go get their own equipment out and stuff.
That's a hard
and
knocks bullshit
yeah,
thing.
Yeah,
I don't think
that was hard knocks.
It's hard knocks. How many years are we going to say this, though? I mean, I know it's only year 2 for Dan Campbell, and I do like him. And I like his...
I just think the pieces on the team don't. I like him as a coach, but you got to get better pieces.
I think Jared Goff is a pedestrian quarterback. I like Amon-Ra St. Brown as a receiver. They will not have Jamison Williams, one of their first-round draft picks. They will have Aiden Hutchinson on the defensive side. I think DeAndre Swift is going to take a big step forward as a running back this year. But Philadelphia was my Super Bowl pick to make it from the NFC. Not to win, but to make it out of the NFC. I'm going to take them -4. I like the line.
I'm taking them, too.
All right, Dan Aaron agreement once again. Next game on the board, another division game. The Indianapolis Colts travel to Houston. The Colts are a 7-point favorite. The over-under on this game is 46.5. Indianapolis. Really good defensive team. Run-heavy team. They added Matt Ryan. They subtracted Carson Wentz. We all know this is kind of a mobile quarterback league. That is not Matt Ryan, but he generally makes pretty good decisions.
He fumbles.
Michael Pittman, I mean, they have one of the best offensive lines in football, though, to keep him upright.
They have a good offensive line. They got a good running back, so he should be a viable quarterback for this team. I mean, this should be a really good team, the Colts.
I agree. I think the Colts are going to win that AFC South. I do. I like them over what was the number 1 seed Tennessee Titans last year going into the playoffs. They bowed out pretty early, but Dan and I in our season prediction show, I think we both like Indianapolis to win that division. Doesn't start here at -7. Houston, we're talking about Davis Mills, year 2 as a quarterback. Lovie Smith, new coach.
A mess. They should be fine anyways. They should be penalized for the Deshaun Watson shit.
Oh my God! Stop it with that. For the fantasy football players, this Dameon Pierce kid who could not crack the starting lineup at the University of Florida last year is running back 1 in Houston.
There you go.
You had to draft him earlier. Indy -7 in this game. We'll see what happens. What do you think?
Indy. Taking Indy.
I'm not. I mean, I like Indy to win that division. It's too much on the road. I hate taking big road favorites, especially in the first week. I like Houston a lot in this game to keep this game under the number. Next game on the board is the New England Patriots traveling to my in-laws team, the Miami Dolphins. I'm going to get through the line, and then we're going to talk probably a lot about this game.
This one.
Anyway,
this one drives me nuts.
The Dolphins are -3 in this game. The over-under is 46.5. The Patriots travel down to Miami on Tuesday. They traditionally travel on Saturday.
Well, he had to do something different because they play like shit usually when they go to Miami.
They do. In the last 10 games, I looked it up. In Miami, the New England Patriots are 3-7.
Yeah.
And they brought a superior team down to Miami because over the last 8 to 10 seasons, well, I guess they play each other twice, but they only played down there once. So over the last 10 seasons, I'll tell you what, New England's been a pretty damn good football team.
Yeah.
And the Dolphins have been a, Shitty football team, right? And they're
it's shocking when they go down. I mean, when they had Tom
They
Brady,
struggle down there.
They'd lose.
so Belichick changed it up. Are they going to get used to the?
I wonder if there was a little kind of betting going on that somebody, with that owner.
Are they trying to
Steve
get
Ross
used to
is
the
trying to make some money?
Ross and Kraft?
And no, Brady.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
such good
I
friends
remember
with
that. I
Brady.
remember all that stuff. So they go down there to get used to the heat and the humidity of things. I mean, are they going to get too used to South Beach?
No, this is a superior coach. He knows what's going on. He knows what stat you showed for the last 10 years or just talked about. And he's not losing opening day to a first-year head coach. I'm going with
Mike
England.
McDaniel, the new head coach, who I like to
I'm
hire.
taking New England. Right now, I'm telling you.
Are you
Taking-
really?
Yes.
Are you really?
Yes. Bill Belichick against the first-year coach. He is not going to lose this game.
You're not worried about the players going
No,
down there
I'm
early,
not.
going to South Beach?
No.
Need Mr. Kraft. Where's Mr. Kraft? I haven't seen
Oh, well,
Mr. Kraft.
he's getting a rub down.
Yeah. You see Mr. Kraft? No. Last time I
Yeah.
saw him, he's getting an Uber with.
That was the first time he was there, so there was no discipline.
He was getting an Uber with Deshaun the last
Yeah.
time I saw him.
I'm sure they go to the same places.
I tell you what.
But he was so offended by what Deshaun did. Yeah.
Recapping the line.
We all think that was his first time there.
That's fine. I mean, they're running it back. I mean, here's the thing with New England now, and we always talk about the away team. They're still a mess on the coordinator side. I think
They're a mess. I'm telling you.
They're gonna miss Josh McDaniels as the offensive coordinator, who is the head coach of the
They're
Las
not
Vegas
losing
Raiders.
this game.
Really?
They suck in September.
They're
too.
gonna win the
That's
game
my other
outright.
dilemma.
They're gonna win the game
Yes.
outright.
Yes.
They can't
I'm
figure
taking
out
New
who the
England.
offensive coordinator is.
I know.
Is it Matt Patricia? Who was the defensive coach? Is it Joe Judge? He's cast off people who failed as head coaches, but we can't figure it out.
Hey, McDaniels failed in Denver.
I tell you what, my in-laws, they are drinking I said they're drinking the Kool-Aid.
I was wondering what Kool-Aid
Holy
was.
shit. We have this boys text. My in-law brothers, my father-in-law, and things like that. Usually it's filled with fun stuff. All it's been has been Dolphins. Like Dolphins bullshit, Dolphins
Oh,
bullshit.
geez.
Every once in a while, Grant, my brother-in-law Grant, will put some pervy shit on there. But meanwhile, those fuckers, they're not just drinking the Kool-Aid. I mean, they're doing shots of the Kool-Aid. They're mainlining the Kool-Aid. They're doing beer bongs of Kool-Aid. They're fucking pouring Kool-Aid in a fucking spoon and putting it over some shitty stove. I don't even know what that does. I saw that in like a druggy movie one time. I mean, they're doing all of the Kool-Aid. They think this team's gonna go to the Super Bowl. I mean, I don't know.
Bill Belichick, take away the best player on offense. Well, the best player is clearly Tyreek Hill, but if Tyreek Hill can't get the ball from the quarterback,
This is year 3 for Tua. Dude,
well, that's what I'm saying. They're going after Tua in this game.
I disagree with Dan's pick.
That's fun.
I like the Finns. They're gonna
You
bring.
had some of the Kool-Aid, I understand.
They're gonna bring that same defense to the field, and it's stout. I mean, that defense is good. I mean, Tyreek Hill has been talking mad shit about Tua. It's Tua's year. I want to say 3, not 2, 3 for Tua. And it's put up or shut up this year for sure. I like this team a lot. I said I like them as a wild card team this year. I do not like them to win the division that they're in with Buffalo, but I think they're a very good team. I think it starts now, week 1. I like the in-laws team at -3 in this game. All right, next game on the board, the Baltimore Ravens.
Ratbirds.
Redbirds, -7, gone to New Jersey. I think that's where the stadium is, to play the New York Jets. The Ravens, -7 in the game, over under 44.5. Baltimore, kind of running it back. I mean, Lamar and his contract situation, he doesn't have an agent. Kind of like it's muddied waters in regards to that. They're running things back. I don't think J.K. Dobbins is going to play in this game.
Really?
I don't. I think he's a week or 2 away off of his injury. Remember how beat up the Ravens were, or the Ratbirds were last year?
Yeah.
Obviously, everybody tries to go in healthy, but I don't think Dobbins is ready. But they always kind of done a running
What
back.
about Ronnie Stanley?
I think he's playing. He practiced this week. They're -7. The over-under on this game, by the way, is 44.5. No Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson got hurt in the preseason. You're going to see retread and former Raven or Ratbird Joe Flacco at the helm for the New York Jets. the Jets have so many young players, and I'm looking forward to seeing them play between, Garrett Wilson and Brees Hall and all these other guys that they added in. I mean, are they going to take a step forward this year, or is it going to have to be on pause until Zach Wilson comes back? It's a big line on the road opening week. Ratbirds -7, Dan.
See, well, this is a tough one for me because I don't know about Zach Wilson. Wasn't healthy.
He's not
last
playing,
year.
though.
He's not healthy, but that's what I'm saying. You got Joe Flacco, who's
Journeyman.
an okay quarterback, and the weapons the Jets added
Yes.
are nice.
Garrett Wilson,
receiver,
Brees
the
Hall.
tight end, the running back.
Oh,
the
C.J.
offensive
Ozuma
line.
from the Bengals. Yes, correct.
I mean, so the Jets have some stuff. The defense, the key is, can you stop Lamar?
How good is the Raven defense, Dan? How good was the Raven defense last year?
It wasn't that good. They were all hurt. The whole secondary was hurt.
Marcus Peters.
They were all.
They had a Kyle Hamilton, our Domer kid. Is he starting? I don't know.
He got hurt. I don't know if he's playing.
I don't know.
The safety. Oh, but they're the Jets. I'm taking both. The Ratbirds in this. I can't take the Jets yet. I'm just.
I know. It's
they're
so
the
hard.
Jets.
It's so hard.
I mean, if I'm a betting person, I'm staying away from this game. But since it's a show and I got to pick, I got to go with the Ratbirds.
100%. I mean, this show, we pick all the games against the spread, and it's hard. I mean, and we're going to give you our elephant pick at the end, which means our best bet. I mean, when I play games, I play 1 or 2 games. I maybe have a few more drinks, and then there's more games to get played, maybe poorly played.
You hopefully still would stay away from this.
Hopefully get lucky a little bit. But yeah, this is not a game I would necessarily play because it's so hard the first week of the season because you don't know what you're going to get. I mean, I think that's why the National Football League is so sexy. We saw the Cincinnati Bengals go from what people projected to be last in the AFC North, like their own division, become AFC champs and make it to the Super Bowl and become a whisker away from Super Bowl champs. I mean, that's
within
why
2 minutes.
That's why I think this league is so fun and I love it so much.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, some of the bullshit that goes on is ridiculous. How can you love it that much?
I love the National Football League. Dan, look, I think
Aaron Donald should not be playing.
Oh
Give
my
me a
God,
break.
we're not doing. We're not
freaking,
talking about that.
It's fucking entertainment. If you don't realize that, it's entertainment.
It's not like the NBA.
It's about them no, it's not like the NBA. It's kind of worse.
This is real.
It's not real. This
Damn.
is like it's almost like WWF now.
False.
Come on.
I'm assuming. I'm going to ask you this
You
question.
can't have a dude swing 2 helmets.
Oh my God! Stop it! Why are you so bitter about this Miles Garrett bullshit?
Because it's bullshit. It's total bullshit.
It's part of the contract. The players can't change that.
There's a personal conduct policy, and everything falls under that. They can discipline you for shit you do outside of the NFL, but damage the shield.
Dan loves football. I'm going to ask you a question here. High school football, collegiate football, professional football.
College, high school, NFL.
One has to go away. It's NFL.
Yeah, I fucking go
Then the
watch.
second
I
one
would
goes
go
on.
watch a high school game all the time. I listen to it on the radio in my garage on Friday night.
I don't like it. I'm going to lay the wood on the road with Baltimore because of Lamar Jackson.
Mud butt.
That guy has the ball in his hands every play on offense, and there's a chance that he goes to the house every freaking play. And it doesn't have to be
If he wants
by
to,
his
he doesn't have
arm.
a contract.
It may be by his legs. That's what scares me about this game. I hate it. I'm going to take Baltimore myself. I don't like it. I'm not going to personally
He
play
might
this game.
show up on Sunday and say, I'm sitting out this because I don't have a new
That's
contract.
not going to happen.
It should.
Next game on the board, the Jacksonville Jaguars go to the Washington football team, our nation's capital. The Washington football team is a 3-point favorite. The over-under this game is 44. Jacksonville, new look. Doug Peterson is the head coach. Super Bowl winning Doug Peterson. They're done with that shit show that was Urban Meyer. I'm looking forward to seeing Etienne. Travis Etienne?
Yeah, that's it.
Travis?
Yeah.
First name Travis?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like.
That's it.
All right, fine. Etienne, I'm looking forward to him. He's kind of he's an electric back. Obviously, they made a big
He was
splash.
electric in college.
He was. What injury is he coming off of?
Some I don't know if he had that Liz Frank
Oh.
or he had a foot injury. So
He did. He's back. He's fully healthy. They have James Robinson. We'll see what Trevor Lawrence does if he takes a step forward. They were big splashers in the free agency market. They gave Christian Kirk wide receiver 1 money. They obviously had the first pick in the draft. They drafted that kind of unicorn-looking player out of Georgia. I want to say his last name is Walker, Trayvon Walker, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Washington football team. Carson Wentz is a new quarterback there. It's funny, Doug Peterson, who's the coach of the Jaguars, had the most success with Carson Wentz.
yeah,
Although Carson Wentz was not who won that Super Bowl for them.
no, Nick
Remember how
Foles.
Carson? Yes, Big Dick Nick Foles won that Super Bowl for them because I want to say Carson Wentz got hurt to the second to last game in that season, and they kept rolling because the chemistry was so good. There's so much to be said about chemistry. I'm kind of off track again. The Washington football team -3 in this game. I mean, I don't know what it looks like with Carson Wentz for them. I like the energy out of Jacksonville. What do you think of this game?
Washington's a mess because of the ownership. Jacksonville's a mess. New coach, ownership. Man,
I'll tell you what I like.
I think I'm going to go with Jacksonville on this just to be different.
I agree, and I don't think it's to be different. I like the energy factor out of Jacksonville. I mean, this team, they went through a lot last year, I think, and I think a large
Chase
part
Young
of it.
playing yet?
I don't know. I mean, I saw him on the sideline at the Ohio State Notre Dame game. He was there. I mean, star-studded characters. Like, everybody was there. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if Chase
I don't
Young's
know if
playing. He
he's
might be
coming
dinged
back.
up. But I'm
Well,
not.
he's not coming back from that ACL.
If he is, if he's out, it's probably week 4. They have those designations for the IR, that mini IR, if you will. But I like the energy out of Jacksonville. I like Doug Peterson as a coach. I think this is a field goal game. I don't know which way.
Former Browns quarterback Doug Peterson.
He is a former Browns quarterback.
Make sure you correct yourself.
I think this is a field goal game. I don't know which way it goes, but I'm going to take the points when I'm
Yeah,
unsure
I'm gonna
about
do
this.
that. Yeah.
Dan and I are both on Jacksonville getting a 3. So next game on the board, the New York Giants play Tennessee. The previously first seeded Tennessee Titans. I don't know why I went that way, but anyway, Tennessee's 5.5-point favorites over the New York Giants. 43.5 is the over/under. Brian Daboll's a new coach of the Giants. I like him as an offensive mind. Daniel Jones running it back. Is he going to be the quarterback here? Is he the answer? I don't know. Saquon Barkley is supposedly healthy. Talking about Tennessee, and you always talk about Derrick Henry when you talk about Tennessee.
Or Vrabel.
Vrabel's a great coach. I mean, I kind of wonder if, Tannehill's the quarterback in Tennessee. I kind of wonder if Vrabel's going to put some, package in for Malik Willis, who showed fairly well in the preseason. I don't know. They are the defending AFC 1 seed. I know they bowed out early. They're -5.5 in this game against the Giants. You like that number?
I'm going with Tennessee because it's Vrabel. New coach at the Giants, Dable. I think he had some success at Alabama and then Buffalo because of the talent. Now he's got Daniel Jones, and the talent at the Giants isn't as good.
Probably not. I'm going to lay the points as well. The line's short enough me at Tennessee. I will stay away from this game personally. I like teams that have new coaches and people haven't seen what they're going to run because I promise you they run vanilla shit in the preseason. So Tennessee's going to be surprised by some of the shit that the Giants run.
No.
That makes me nervous.
Vrabel's from Belichick's tree. He ain't going to be surprised.
No,
Come on.
I don't know about that. But I like that surprise factor in all these games with new coaches. But it's Derrick Henry, and it's Derrick Henry late and wearing people down. The Titans will go as Derrick Henry goes. I like them to get a late touchdown and cover this number at 5.5. Dan and I are both on Tennessee.
Yep.
By the way, I apologize. That was the start of the 4 p.m. games. The next game on the board is the Kansas City Chiefs playing the Arizona Cardinals. The Chiefs are 6.5-point favorites traveling to Arizona. talk about over under, big number, 53.5. We talk about Kansas City first, they're their away team. How much are they going to miss Tyreek Hill? Are they going to be fine? Are they going to not miss a beat? What do we think?
What's the line? 6.5?
6.5. Chiefs minus 6.5. Over under 53.5. I mean, maybe they miss him early and then adjust. I don't know, but I have a lot of faith in Andy Reid.
I think they've already adjusted to not having him. I mean, you don't. I mean, you got Kelsey. I don't know who else they still got.
Juju Smith-Schuster was a signing.
Thanks.
Marquez Valdez-Scantling came from Green Bay. He takes the top off the defense. He's not the player that Tyreek Hill is not. I've seen him drop multiple balls. He's not. I mean, McCole Hardman is there. They drafted a kid named Sky Clark.
You guys got that Pringle dude.
Byron Pringle was on that team last year. The Bears did sign him. Ryan Poles, who's a new Bear general manager, came from KC. Arizona, we spent some time. I mean, they don't have DeAndre Hopkins. He's out the first 6 games for performance-enhancing drugs. They did do a trade. They have Hollywood Brown, who is Kyler Murray, who's the quarterback, obviously, for Arizona's old teammate in Oklahoma. I'm not that big a fan of the coach there. And I want to say Shanahan is not.
Kingsbury?
Cliff Kingsbury, out of that run and shoot thing out of Texas Tech.
I'm not either. But for some reason, the first 7 games, they start and play well, and then it goes to shit.
No. Kansas City minus 6.5. Did Kyler Murray do his homework?
It was in his contract. Man, I
think Mahomes
Kansas City had a hard time covering last year.
They did.
That's my dilemma. So I'm going to go with Arizona in this, but I still think Kansas City wins the game.
I think Kansas City wins this game by a significant number. I think they don't miss a beat. I think they want to send a statement that because Tyreek Hill ran his mouth like a lot about Mahomes and this and that and how much they're going to miss him. And, Tua is the most accurate quarterback I play with, all this other good shit. I think there's going to be a little bit of a middle finger in regards to that. I don't know. I like Kansas City. That I think they're going to win this game by a touchdown. It's a scary line. I won't personally play the game most likely, although I'll have plenty of drinks by then, depending on the Bear game goes, because this is the 4 p.m. slate. I'm on Kansas City minus 6.5. Next game on the board, really fun game out of that super talented, I think stacked AFC West, and that is the Las Vegas Raiders playing the Los Angeles Chargers. Las Vegas, I'm proud of myself. I didn't say the Oakland Raiders or something else or LA Raiders. Las Vegas Raiders. Took me a year, but I'm back. The Chargers are 3-point favorites in this game. Over-under is 52, expecting a lot of points. Las Vegas, they had Devontae Adams, which is Derek Carr, their quarterback's best friend. I saw a whole article about them whitewater rafting and almost dying and some other shit. But anyway, that has nothing to do with anything. But obviously they've had playmakers. They have Darren Waller. They have Hunter Renfrow. The question for the Raiders, to me, is the offensive line and the defense. And then you talk about the Chargers. The Chargers, they added some pieces on defense because they know you got to play defense in this division because there's so many potent offenses. Khalil Mack they added. They had J.C. Jackson, who was probably the top cornerback, certainly was the top cornerback in the league in free agency. I don't think he's going to play, though. He's nicked up from training camp. Chargers -3 in this game. Chargers have a crazy fucking coach.
That's the wild card in this because he goes from 4th down. It doesn't matter where it's at.
I'm like, they're just gonna draw him off sides. Like, holy shit, they snapped the ball.
Yeah,
really?
I agree.
Brandon Staley, did he go to John Carroll?
Yes, he did.
That guy's he's a crazy person.
I think he coached there too. He either went there.
I think both.
Yeah.
I think both.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good offensive mind, but he's got elephant-sized balls.
He's a crazy-ass motherfucker.
Crazy. What do you think of this game?
I don't know. This one's tough. I like the Carr, Devontae Adams connection, but 3 points, jeez.
It's not that big a number. I'll tell you right now.
I'm going with the Chargers.
Me too. I like the Chargers a lot in this game, actually. We'll see. The Chargers are a proven team. They haven't changed anything on offense. They still have that wild coach. They've added some pieces on defense, namely Mack. I don't think J.C. Jackson is going to play. But I like this team a lot. This was the game. Remember this game at the end of the season last year?
That they played.
All the marbles.
Could have been a tie.
All the marbles.
Yeah.
Yes. Wild finish to that thing. All right, NFC North game. The Green Bay Packers. I love this game. Green Bay Packers travel to Minnesota. Skull. Whatever that noise is that they make in Minnesota. The Packers are minus 1.5 in this game. In Minnesota, the over-under is 47. We always talk first team first. I've said it like 4 times. I probably should stop saying it.
First team first?
Home or away team first.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, fair enough. Maybe the double IPA is getting me. Green Bay's minus 1.5 in this game. Aaron Rodgers still there.
Yeah, it's funny that's 1.5.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean, Green Bay has a really good defense.
Really good.
The receiving core is a question mark, 100%.
But that really good defense is playing Kirk Cousins. Now you have a new
What's wrong with
coach.
Kirk? I think the Green Bay defense is really good. I mean, there's large question marks, a huge void left by Devontae Adams being traded to the Las Vegas Raiders. I mean, obviously, Aaron Rodgers in the offseason called out his new receiver core in regards to proper route running.
He should. He's a veteran quarterback.
He is. I mean, he's a great player. There's no two ways about that. Minnesota, I mean, they have a new coach.
Yeah.
You know, remember Kirk Cousins? You like that?
Do I like what?
Remember when you like that? When he won that game in Washington or whatever, like it was an iconic thing. But anyway, like his former coach, Mike Zimmer, that fucking miser. Like, I don't like that. He was horrible. But they have a new coach, Kevin O'Connell. There's a more positive attitude. I think the Minnesota defense is good. I love the weapons on Minnesota. Justin Jefferson, I think, is the best receiver in the National Football League. I think Dalvin Cook is right there in regards to the upper echelon. Maybe outside of Jonathan Taylor, the best running back. I like their weapons a lot. I picked Minnesota to win this division, and it's got to start here, at home, if they're going to win that division. I like the Vikings in this game, getting a 1.5.
Green Bay. I'm taking Green Bay. Veteran coach, veteran quarterback, first-year coach. It doesn't matter. Green Bay.
New attitude, new story. We're on that was the entire 4 o'clock slate. We are on to Sunday Night Football.
Oh, the freaking Cowboys. I get to see the Cowboys all the fucking time.
This is a rematch of
I don't even live in Dallas, and I get to see them.
This is funny. It's a rematch of...
Next week, they'll be on, too.
Well, you need DirecTV and a Sunday ticket like I have. You just
Doesn't
come
matter.
over here.
This is Sunday Night Football.
This is a rematch of Week 1 again last year. Remember how entertaining that game was again when Dallas was in Tampa, because obviously Tampa Bay was the Super Bowl champions, and they host the Thursday Night Football game. It was a wildly entertaining game that Tampa, I think, won. I know they won. Well, this game is in Dallas. Tampa has been installed as a 2.5-point favorite in Big D. The over-under is 50. Both these teams have offensive line issues.
Yes.
They have significant offensive line issues.
You've got new coach versus retread.
Todd Bowles, I mean, new coach. I mean, that's in parentheses. I mean, he was on the staff the whole time.
Well, okay.
Bruce Arians gave him, like, the run and let go of everything.
No, I'm taking Tampa Bay. I'm not taking Dallas. They're a mess. Their offensive line is in question. They're a mess.
Well, I mean, Tampa had some offensive line issues in regards to injuries.
But they have Tom Brady.
They do have Tom Brady. But Tom Brady has problems with Giselle. I mean, I don't know what the whole thing is.
What?
I can't be there for 2 weeks of training camp. I mean, nobody really knows. They're acting like Giselle's pissed that he's back playing again. I don't know. Like, you need to spend more time with the family. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, at some point in time, it's got to stop. Dallas has weapons. I mean, I like Dan Quinn. I like Micah Parsons. I mean, I think Micah Parsons may be the defensive player of the year. I like Dallas to win this football game. They're getting 2.5 points. What does Jerry Jones always say?
I don't know. I'm stupid.
How you like them Cowboys? Or something like that, right? How you like them Cowboys?
Yeah.
I'm on the Cowboys. That is Sunday Night Football. The Monday Night
Tampa
Football
Bay.
game. Monday Night Football game is the Russell Wilson return game, if you will.
At Seattle.
That is Denver, minus 6.5, traveling back to Seattle. Over-under is 44.5 in this game.
How's it 44 and a half? How,
Because Denver's going to score points, like a lot.
I know
of them.
Denver is, but if the line's only 6,
I mean, the 12 man's real over there in Seattle. I mean, they're going to be juiced
it's
up.
real, but I mean,
They're gonna be
Russell's
juiced up.
not going to be affected by it.
I mean, it's Russell Wilson's return. That's the entire storyline. This is your favorite crew. We went over an hour. This is your favorite crew.
The Monday Night Crew?
Yes.
Oh.
Joe Buck and Troy Aikman.
Is this a Manning cast?
It is.
Thank
it is.
God.
I think the main cast is going to do 2/3 of the season, maybe 3/4 of the
So
season.
they'll
It's
be
very
jacking
popular.
around, eating food, cussing at people and stuff.
That's right.
Yeah.
Dan will be probably watching the main
Yeah,
cast
I
as
will.
opposed to
I
Joe
guarantee
Buck.
you I will.
He's a big fan, but anyway, I'll probably
Wait, Monday Night Football's Joe Buck?
Joe Buck and Troy Aikman all year, buddy.
On Monday night?
All year. My wife will be watching The Voice.
ESPN doesn't have Monday night anymore?
What did I say?
You said Joe Buck.
Yes, they're Monday Night Football. I didn't say what station it was on. ESPN does have it.
What about that Chris guy?
I think
Is-
you're.
Collinsworth.
No, no. Amazon. Hold on. This is getting messed up. We've had a lot of drinks. Thursday Night Football, when it gets back to the normal slate, it's on NBC this week. Next week, I believe it starts next week, will be on Amazon Prime exclusively, which is Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit. And then on Sunday Night Football, which is NBC station, you're going to have Mike Tirico, once again, and Chris Collinsworth. Monday Night Football,
So ESPN lost it, even though they had that.
it's Joe Buck and
crew.
Troy Aikman on Monday Night Football. Yes. You're making me question myself. I'm done doing
And that's
that.
not ESPN. Well, how do I watch that?
You come over.
On ESPN. Monday Night Football is on ESPN. Joe Buck and Troy Aikman are the announcers.
We'll see. I think it's going to be those same goofs.
Are you like, dude, we're not done with the show. Why are you walking
I
out?
need another beer.
Jeez.
Taking too long.
Denver -6.5 in Seattle. I like Denver this year. Dan, you like Denver a lot. I feel like you picked them to win the division. Is that true?
Yeah, I'm taking Denver on this one. Seattle's going to blow. Geno Smith is the quarterback?
Yeah.
Come on.
They're kind of a mess. I agree with that. The crowd's real there. I mean, it's gonna be amped up. It makes me a little nervous. Once again, I said it.
Denver.
If I haven't said it once or twice, I've said it 3 times. Taking big number road favorites hurts my heart a little bit, especially week 1. But I'm gonna lay the points in Denver -6.5. All right, that is the entire slate of the National Football League. Best picks, which we refer to as elephant picks. My elephant is right here, straight out of Hobby Lobby. Dan, your best bet on the board.
San Fran over Chicago.
What a douche. I have to look at the board.
Yeah. Because you should pick that one too. Although you picked the Chicago Bears to win.
The narrative is going to
Cover.
change. It's going to change for sure.
Who's drinking a shot next week?
No, we both have to do the shots. I
Wait.
know I'm taking a while.
I thought it was the shitty person.
I am going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers to get under the number of 6.5 in Cincinnati. I think a lot of Mike Tomlin. I think a lot of that team. I think Mr. Trubisky will play well. I think that the Cincinnati Bengals, who were the AFC representative in the Super Bowl, had a pretty good offseason. But with that being said, they had probably the 3rd easiest schedule last year per the metrics. We'll see. Pittsburgh is my pick. We got one more bonus pick for you, the college football season. They went 2-0 last week. I think we mentioned it earlier. I went 1-1. I split our games with the Oregon-Georgia game and the Notre Dame Ohio State game. The game I picked, although there's a few games, it's week 2 where there's a lot of kind of warm-up games for teams. It's not the greatest slate in the world. There's a few good games. I mean, Kentucky-Florida is a great SEC game. Baylor-BYU is a good game. College game day is in Texas, where Bama goes there. Steve Sarkisian was a former offensive coordinator at Bama.
You're just going there because of name recognition. That's
He's
not even going to be a game.
I'm done. I didn't want to play that game because it's a 3-touchdown line. The game I picked was Tennessee at Pittsburgh. Tennessee, out of the SEC, I like them a lot this year. I think they're coming up. They're 6.5 going to Pitt.
Wow.
Tennessee comes off a beat down at Ball State. I mean, let's not make too much of this. It was 59-10. Pittsburgh won the backyard brawl.
That was a great game.
Great game.
Those 2 Thursday night games were great. That was
Great games.
Pittsburgh,
Great games.
Pittsburgh and West Virginia, and then what was it? Purdue and
Penn State. Great
Those
games.
were awesome.
Came down the wire. 100% came down the wire. Pittsburgh won the backyard brawl. The quarterback for Tennessee, his name is Hendon Hooker. Fun name. And Keaton Slovis is the USC transfer quarterback for Pitt. We obviously saw Pitt. I did not see Tennessee beat Ball State. The line is Tennessee minus 6.5. Obviously, both teams 1-0. What do you think about this game, Dan? You gonna keep your undefeated record? What do you like?
Man, I don't know. I like Pitt at home. Just because they played West Virginia and not Ball State. I'm going with Pitt.
I think a lot of this Tennessee football team, I think they're going to be a factor in the SEC. Not out of nowhere, but we're not sure about this team. Are they really good? They have a dynamic quarterback in Hendon Hooker. I like the SEC muscle in this game. I like them to win this game by a touchdown. I'm on Tennessee. Dan, our odds and that. That has been the entire slate. That's been your bonus pick. Hopefully you will see shot glasses on the table next week, which means Dan and I both have a winning record, but I have a difficult time seeing that. I feel like we have a good, maybe half a dozen games different.
So the winner gets to drink a shot?
No, we both have no shots being drank unless we both win.
Oh, we both
This is a show for the
you
people.
You need to pick better then.
This is not a show for us. This is a show for the people.
Oh.
I mean, it's a serious handicapping show. I think we're going to do well. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.
Never going to be shots.
We'll be back next week.